He did it like 9 days before my birthday, too. At least when I asked him about it, he didn't make any excuses and we just ended things. It's like, dude, you should have just manned up about it and ended things like that. No excuses. End it. Like, why are you on Facebook changing your status? It's just that's a childish thing to do.
Shake it up.
Yeah. The Martini boys. The Martini boys. Pour yourself a drink.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back. I know it's been a minute, but Matt is currently in Alaska right now. He's wrestling bears. He's having a blast. So that is why we've had a little break, but we are back. Going to be a solo episode with me tonight, but Matt will be back next week. So we will be back in action. But that's why we've been in touch, though, and he has made it safely. He's having an amazing time. Just from the pictures I've seen, you know, they're breathtaking. I can only imagine what it's like in person. So it's one of those once in a lifetime trips that a lot of people say, you should go and do it. And one of the best ways to tour Alaska, if you will, is on cruise to cover the most ground via water. So, yeah, I mean, from the wildlife to all of the nature and scenic aspects of it, it just has looked incredible. So really looking forward to hearing all about it when he returns. So I'm sure that'll be one of the main focuses for next week's episode. But yeah, we've been in touch, and he's made it safely there, and he's there with his wife and family, and really happy for them. But I am also excited for his return, and I definitely miss him. I feel like it's the longest we've ever been apart, and not just because of the podcast, but just seeing him in general. So it was a long one, but definitely worthwhile. And yeah, we're gonna hear about it soon. But as we started off every episode, what's the science? The science is Kona Big Wave today. If you haven't had Kona or know what it is a beer, but it's like a very light, refreshing beer. Definitely one of those like summer poolside, beach, or like on the deck, cooking on the grill kind of beer crushers, if you will. Crushing that beer, baby. So actually, Panji turned me on to these. We've mentioned Panji quite a few times. We're on a bowling league together during the like late fall and winter, and at the bowling alley they have Kona. So we definitely have had our share of Konas. And on that note, cheers. Really good stuff. So highly recommend it. Haven't really been drinking beer that much lately because just trying to cut out all those carbs and unnecessary calories, and it's definitely helped because the bloating and stuff has been significantly lower than it used to be. So sticking with those Tito's, sodas, and limes. It's all plural. It's a tongue twister. Tito's, soda, and lime that we've been having, Matt and I and stuff. We had it on the last episode, I think. But low calorie, does the trick, and it's refreshing. So, but yeah, highly recommend Kona. And aside from crushable beers and crushable drinks, the summertime is full of ice cream. And that is one of my downfalls. Ice cream, and especially fraps. And for those who don't know or not from New England, a frap is just a very fancy way of saying milkshake. I don't know where fraps came from, who woke up one morning and was like, I'm going to call milkshake a milkshake frap. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's a milkshake. It's milk and ice cream. And we do have malts. That's once in a while type thing. I do like malts, but it has kind of, it's a powder you add to it, and it's got that like grainy texture to it. So if you don't know what malt is, it's in powder form. Typically, it's like in malt balls. If you know like what Whoppers are, the candy Whoppers, not BK's burgers. It's like malt in a circle, like marble shape, and it's dipped into milk chocolate. But you can get some really delicious ones from a homemade chocolate place or like one of those like boutique mom and pop chocolate stores, and love a good malt ball. But you know me in rankings, and I've done quite a few of them. And since it's just me tonight, I figured turn it into a little more of like a game show and go through rankings. So David, cue in the game show music, please. Oh yeah, welcome to rankings night, baby. So speaking of ice cream, I figured why not do like top 10 flavors and the worst ranking flavors or worst ranked flavors. Got a lot of tongue twisters tonight. So I got two lists that I found. I think the worst one has 15 of them, but we'll start with the good ones, and then we'll hit the bad ones. And a disclaimer before we begin. Like previous ones, I did not make these up or do them, or I did not put these anonymous forms out for these thousands of people to answer, so don't shoot the messenger, as they say. I'm just going by what I have done my little research with, and I may not even agree with all of them, so we may be on the same page, we may not, but that's what it's all about. All right, we got number 1, vanilla. How can you go on with vanilla? I know it's like frowned upon, or it's like juvenile, if you will. Like it's like a kid's thing, like cheese pizza. Like people are like, oh, cheese pizza, that's for kids. Like I love cheese pizza. I love pepperoni pizza. I love vanilla. I love moose tracks or whatever. But the thing I say all the time is, if you go to like a really good ice cream shop, especially like a mom and pop, like parlor, like old school creamery, right there in the back, and not store bought. If their base is good, it's all about that base. And no, not Meghan Trainor base. I'm talking about the base of ice cream is vanilla. I feel like they use that for like everything else, for like all the flavors and all the chocolate and candy pieces that they add in and stuff. So I say this all the time to my wife or friends whenever we go out, but if the vanilla is good, I'm almost positive I'm gonna like every other flavor I choose. So I'm gonna go with a number 1. That's a good one. Number 2, chocolate. See, chocolate. I don't agree with chocolate. I feel like chocolate, it's too much. It's like too much of the chocolatiness. Like I find that chocolate can be overbearing if there's too much. Again, that's my personal opinion, but I feel like there's a lot more out there than you may think. But chocolate alone, I can't do it. If I have chocolate mixed with vanilla, or like a hoodsie, or like they call it black and white frap or black and white milkshake, I can do that for sure. It's like Oreo. You got the chocolate cookie and the vanilla frosting in the middle. Same kind of thing, but I can't just do it straight up. Like even chocolate shakes, can't do chocolate shakes. It's just too much chocolate for me. But number 3, cookies and cream. Can't go wrong. That is a great choice. I love cookies and cream ice cream. And I always say I'm not talking about store-bought. I'm talking about homemade, parlor that's like in town or close by. And if you have a really good ice cream place, they probably have a really, really good cookies and cream ice cream. So that's a great choice. Number 4, we got mint chocolate chip. Mint chocolate chip is good. I like peppermint stick too, but I feel like a mint chocolate chip, it's kind of got that like York patty flavor to it. But it's probably something I would enjoy once in a while, or not just every time, but once in a while in between like the other flavors, because mint can be a little strong or overbearing or like too sweet at times. But I have had mint chocolate chip where the mint was pretty subtle, so it was actually like very enjoyable, and you can like have the whole cup with no complaints. Number 5, we got chocolate chip cookie dough. How can you go wrong? Love it. Love cookie dough. It may just be me. Like I may have been dreaming or was like misled my entire life, but I thought like at one point, like years ago, cookie dough ice cream was just cookie dough, pieces and vanilla ice cream. I don't remember growing up and having the chocolate chip pieces in it as well. I don't know if it like just kind of made its way into the recipe or some did it with and some did it without or chocolate chips were always in it and I just don't remember. It was it was all a dream. So if you remember that and I'm not just making this up, I'm not crazy, comment below, tell me I'm not alone. But I don't remember the chocolate chips growing up, at some places. Number 6, buttered pecan. Number 6, I don't know. So like butter is very hard to imitate. Like artificial butter flavoring is just disgusting. So if it was made with real butter and it wasn't overbearing, it wasn't too powerful, and the pecans were like thinly chopped, like it wasn't like big pieces cuz I'm not really into nuts. into nuts. Yeah. When it's too much, I keep saying this word overbearing, but it is. It's like it's the thing with nuts, any type of nut, like say brownies. I love just your classic brownies, the chocolate brownie. But when it comes to adding nuts to it, no thanks. I don't want it. Same with cookies. I don't want nuts in my cookies. I just want the cookie batter baked with chocolate chips or score bar or like even like toffee, but not nuts. It's not a me thing, But buttered pecan, it's pretty good. I've had it before, but it's not like a go-to. Number 7, birthday cake. If it's real pieces of cake, yes. And I've had cake batter ice cream before. It more has like a frozen custard like consistency, but it's pretty good. But again, back to the whole artificial thing. It's really hard to imitate foods like that or flavors like that. So if it's fake, probably don't want it. Number 8, strawberry. I'm weird when it comes to fruit. With fruit, I can't eat it ice cold, like right out of the fridge. Like if I'm gonna eat fruit, which is not too often, I need it to be room temperature. And I think it has a lot to do with the sensitivity in my teeth. So when I bite down or chew on something really cold, it's just uncomfortable, and I don't. It makes it hard to enjoy. So I've had strawberry ice cream a few times, and I've had strawberry ice cream at places where like it thrives. It's like the best it made and stuff at some of these like creameries and local spots. And yeah, it's like it's really good, but again, I feel like too sometimes I've had a couple of cups of strawberry where the strawberry pieces were really big. So chewing down while it's like basically frozen, it's like the whole sensitivity thing. So again, not a go-to of mine, but it's good. No complaints. Number 9, moose tracks. This is what I was talking about earlier, like mixing the base in with all like other flavors. I feel like moose tracks are made differently depending on where you go, but for the most part, how can you go wrong with fudge and vanilla ice cream, peanut butter cups? And I feel like sometimes they'll put like crunchy things in there, like whether it's like pieces of wafer or I don't know, anything like what that gives it, or like pretzels maybe gives it that little crunch. Always good, but it's delicious. Moose tracks, that's a green light for me. Number 10. So I feel like this always happens when I do these rankings, but I don't know if 1 is the best or if 10 is the best. I'm assuming number 1 is the best, but number 1 started first. So I feel like you get down to the bottom of these lists, and that's like the top. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Like the Billy Joel song. Yeah. So you got 10 is Neapolitan. I don't know if I've had Neapolitan. I may have without knowing the name, but it's reminding me of like when you're at an Italian restaurant. I've had It's a ball of ice cream, half vanilla, half chocolate, and there's a cherry in the middle, and it's dipped in milk chocolate, and then it's like frozen. I've had that before, and this is kind of what it's looking like, except it's like in a dish, a cup form. I also really like affogato, which is a scoop of either vanilla ice cream or like nutmeg to give it a little spice, and it's in a serving of espresso, hot espresso. So it kind of melts, and oh man, with some biscotti or biscotte, as I'd probably be murdered by a true Italian. Yeah, that's good. Again, I don't think I would put that on my top 10, but those are the top 10 rankings for you. And of course, a sip of my Kona and into the worst ice cream flavors of all time ranked. Again, this is the US, so other countries may be different. So this is from the HuffPost. I feel like HuffPost, I've probably gone there like once or twice during school to like get articles or something, information about like current events. And I never visited it again until now. We got 14. Butter pecan. See, this is what I was talking about earlier with like artificial. There it goes. There is acceptable butter pecan ice cream, and then there is terrible butter pecan ice cream. It is never good. And I feel like that's going towards the recipes that have the artificial flavoring. It's just not a flavor that is good. I mean, you still go, even though now like you can rent anything at home and you have all these streaming platforms for movies. But growing up, when you would get the popcorn, before it was $18 per small bag, I would load up on the butter. It was like golden, translucent oil. Like it was not butter at all, just flavoring. And it's just so disgusting thinking about it now, because I used to put so much on it. And I would do that thing where you would ask them to fill it up halfway, pour your butter in, go back, fill it to the top with more popcorn, and then go back to the dispenser and just like load it up. And man, it's just gross. Now, I'd rather make my own at home. But that's what I think about when it comes to like butter flavored ice cream. 13. How is this on the worst ranked? Is eggnog. I love eggnog, especially around the holidays. Like a classic vanilla eggnog, or I'm a big golden eggnog guy. So it's with some nutmeg. It's got that spice. But like around the holidays and Christmas and stuff, man, I used to drink it by the glass with my grandfather. Probably had like 19 gajillion calories, but it was so worth it. But I mean, I feel like I've had eggnog flavored ice cream before. I mean, it's really good. Vanilla ice cream with some nutmeg or something. The only like turn up I can see is, and for those who don't know, with eggnog is like a true eggnog is egg whites. So if eggs freak you out, I can see why this would freak you out, but I wouldn't put that on my worst list, so I don't agree with that. I love eggnog ice cream. The more you know. 12. Birthday blast. Yeah, this is Breyers, however you pronounce it, the blasts. I remember these containers in the supermarket. I'm not like a store-bought ice cream guy, but growing up, if I did get the blasts kind, it would be like chocolate swirl or caramel swirl or like peanut butter cup blast with Kit Kats, and it would be all these crazy flavors. But yeah, this one here is saying, why eat artificial flavored birthday cake ice cream when you can eat amazing ice cream with real pieces of cake in it? Totally agree with you on that. Birthday blast is a red for me. 11 is bacon ice cream. What? I wish this was like a joke. Bacon ice cream. There was like a viral point in life, like a sensation with chocolate covered bacon. They like still have it, but I remember everyone used to talk about it. I had a piece of it and I thought it was awful. I think I was in Maine and I was in one of those like boutique mom and pop candy stores right on the water, right on the ocean. And in the middle of the store on this wooden table, I remember they had like all these things that were dipped in chocolate, and one of them was bacon. And so I was like, yeah, I'll try it. And it was terrible. Like, I don't want bacon in my ice cream. That is definitely a bad flavor. So got to agree with that. Number 10, we got cotton candy. Anything like cotton candy, no thanks. So that's awful. Even like sherbet or sherbet, however you pronounce it, sherbet, like orange creamsicle, like it's good. Like I remember getting the ones like on a stick, but like watermelon, like even just like the ices and stuff, the frozen ices, when things are like that kind of sour sweet, like cherry and watermelon, cotton candy, it I don't know, I don't find it enjoyable, and I'll have like a couple bites or spoonfuls of it, and then I'm like, I'm done. It's by cotton candy. I hated the original thing. It melted in your hands. It was all sticky. By the end of the day, your whole face and your hands, it got on your clothes and all the dye in it. Yeah, it's not good. Number 9, licorice. Who the hell would want licorice flavored ice cream? Like, I understand red licorice. Love red licorice. And I mean like the homemade style, like a good candy shop where you get a true licorice, not Twizzlers or like a store-bought brand where, no matter when you get it, even if the made date, the date that it was made was like yesterday, it's still somehow super stale and like hard to even chew. It doesn't even seem like it's something you should be ingesting, but licorice, the black licorice it reminds me of those like after dinner drinks like ouzo or like amaretto or anisette. It's just not for me. So I definitely agree with that one. Number 8, we got rum raisin. See, I agree with this with the raisin. I feel like raisins don't belong anywhere. I don't like raisins, and in ice cream would make it worse. It looks like ants. It looks like ants to me. But rum, like rum cake, they have them in those like small tins. You can get them probably all over, but I specifically remember when I was like in Jamaica and St. Martin in the Caribbean, they had those rum cakes that were soaking in the rum. Definitely strong, but the flavor was good, but there weren't raisins. So if it was more based on that, I would say, it would be a decent ice cream, but the raisins are an instant no for me. Oh, come on. Number 7, garlic. Who the hell is making garlic ice cream? Like, it's not a prank. It says garlic ice cream exists. We're not sure why, but it does. Like, yeah, I couldn't agree more. And in this picture, which might be hard to see for you guys, but it's garlic ice cream with snap peas. Like, is this like an Asian fusion dish or dessert? Like, I know like with Chinese or Asian fusion places, Thai places, they'll have I think it's red bean ice cream, and they have like the green tea ice cream. That makes more sense to me. But garlic, man, that is awful. So definitely belongs on this list. Oh my God. Number 6, we got horseradish. Why? Just why? I mean, might as well add soy sauce and wasabi in it too. I mean, it looks like it's a vanilla ice cream in this picture on top of a bed of just horseradish. That's mentally insane, mentally ill flavor. I highly do not advise you to try that. I would never try that, and I never will. Number 5, we got pizza ice cream. I mean, what the hell would that even be? Like marinara flavored? Like frozen marinara? And if you're going to name it pizza flavored, I mean, don't get me wrong. Love pizza. Love a good pizza. We all love a good slice of pizza, but not in ice cream. And if you're going to name it pizza, I mean, is it cheese pizza? Is it margarita flavored ice cream? Is it white pizza flavored? Is it pepperoni flavored? I mean, Christ. Pizza ice cream. Number 4, we got cold sweat. What does that even mean? It sounds like the flu. Cold Sweat ice cream from North Carolina-based ice cream store Sunny Skies Homemade Ice Cream. If you've been to Sunny's in North Carolina or know someone who has, please comment and tell us if you've had this Cold Sweat ice cream or if you've had any of their ice creams, and are they good? Because apparently you have to sign a waiver to have this ice cream because it's made with some of the hottest peppers in the world. That sounds terrible. It's giving me heartburn, acid reflux just thinking about it. Ice cream, like you're supposed to sit out the back of the truck or leaning on your car or on a bench or looking out at the waves at a beach or ocean front, and you're enjoying the moment, not burning your insides with acid. Jesus. Please let me know if you've had Cold Sweat. Number 3, oh my God, lobster flavored ice cream. You're killing me with this stuff. I'm here in New England. I love my seafood. Love lobster, mussels, oysters, clams, calamari, you name it. But lobster in my ice cream? Absolutely not. And it's fishy. I mean, it's really good, but it's different. You're either dipping it in butter, or if you're having a lobster roll, your cold version would be with the mayo, or you have your traditional hot style where it's a toasted bun and you have your butter drizzled on top. It's delicious. Not in my ice cream. No, thank you. Number 2, we got bubblegum ice cream. I don't know if I'd say like this is horrendous, but bubblegum isn't something that you swallow. So I don't know why it would be an ice cream. And bubblegum definitely has a distinct taste, and I feel like bazooka gum or something, like just your original, the pink bubblegum. I don't want that in my ice cream. And what do? Like you take a spoonful, or if it's on the cone, you take a bite in and you chew the bubble gum and spit that part out, or you spit the ice cream out. I feel like that's just such a waste. Definitely not like the absolute worst option if I had to choose, but I would say it belongs on this list. No thanks. All right, we got number 1, guys. Drum roll, please. Number 1 worst ranked flavored ice cream is I wish I was kidding. Number 1 worst ranked flavored ranked worst tongue twisters tonight. Viagra laced ice cream. And I wish I was kidding. It is champagne flavored ice cream containing 25 milligrams of Viagra. The end. Yeah, the end. What a horrible concept. Horrible concept. And is there an age limit on that? There should be. I hope there is. I mean, kids, when they're like 6, 7, 8, 9, like, you hate the taste of alcohol typically. Like, you think it's disgusting. How are you going to like champagne flavored ice cream to begin with? And like, what? You got to go see your doctor and be like, hey, doc, I need a prescription, man. I want to try that bomb-ass Viagra-laced ice cream. What a choice of words, too, like laced. Not just like Viagra-flavored or Viagra ice cream. Viagra-laced. When you think laced, you think of drugs. Like, obviously, it's a drug, like pharmaceutical drug, but I'm talking about like when you're laced, with like drugs at like a bar or nightclub or something. You're going to have a horrible night or black out and not remember anything or what, which is a terrible thing to do by the way. But yeah, that's terrible. I mean, imagine, first of all, where is this flavor? Gonna need to do some research, or if you know, let me know where this type of or flavor is sold, because I still can't get over the fact that it's called Viagra laced ice cream. Imagine like a bunch of kids ordering this and they're eating it and stuff, and like 10 minutes later, it'd be like Peckerville going on in the parking lot. They'd be running around with bulges in their pants, not knowing what the hell happened. That's awful. That's like such a bad prank to pull on kids. Imagine imagine like you're on your first date and you bring her or bring him to the ice cream parlor downtown, and you're like, I'll have 2 scoops of your Viagra laced ice cream. And you walk over to the park and you sit down on the park bench, and you guys are having a nice little first date. Or if you're like really romantic and all about the cutesy stuff, you're like spoon feeding each other. And then like 10 minutes later, it's like, bam, you guys are like vicious, rabid animals all over each other. And you like the rage just explodes from this ice cream, and you're rolling around together on the on the glass, on the grass. Or you're just full out going to town on the bench. Be one hell of a first date. Be like going through puberty again when you were a kid, feeling out of this world. I don't know. That's just insane to me. If you again, if you've ever heard of that before, and you were ballsy enough to take to take Viagra to get that flavor, please let me know, because it's a real thing. And the picture is 2 blue balls and a sugar cone. Unbelievable. What a world we live in, am I right? I mean, that is just crazy. Just wake up, I'm gonna put in some Viagra and stimulate the senses. It reminds me of those ads, those friggin' ads all over TikTok now, and used to be anyway, and Instagram. It was like Blue Chew that you were supposed to take before your intimate moments, or it was like pieces of chocolate, and you were supposed to like break it. You would take a piece and break it with your partner. It was like, it's just, I feel like all those things are like placebo effects. So I'm very curious about this ice cream. Well, speaking of summer and ice cream, there also is, and getting hot and steamy in here, we have the summer flings and summer breakups. Whether you're graduating from high school, or like you're out of high school for the summer, you want to be free, so you break up, or you're going to college, you want to start a fresh start, or maybe you're in college and you're graduating college and you're moving on to a new chapter in your life and you break up. Breakups happen all the time, and summer flings are pretty popular, I would say. But breakups are not always good. They're not always, they're never really fun, but you try to do it the civil way. But I don't have examples of the civil way. I have some really awkward and bad breakup situations that we're going to get into to end the night off. I feel bad. I feel bad for these couples, or I feel like it's going to be more the ladies getting their heart broken here, but let's get into it. Take some more of my Kona Big Wave. Liquid Aloha. I love that slogan. All right. He ended it after 10 years together, 4 of those living together. That's rough. I called him to see what he wanted to do for dinner and kept getting his voicemail. Called his secretary, and she said, "Oh, he should be on his flight by now." She quickly figured out I didn't know what she was talking about, so she told me in the nicest way that she could that he went to Vegas. We're back with Vegas, man. What's up with Vegas? I left work to go home immediately, and I found that the locks had been changed and there was a U-Haul truck. He had packed everything I owned up in the truck after I had left for work, then flew to Vegas with his friends for the weekend. He left me a note saying he was sorry. Pretty shitty thing to do, man. That's not nice. Bad guy. I hope you've moved on and you're with someone better now. My husband left me 1 week after our 25th anniversary for his affair partner. Oof. By text. Oh, even worse. Why is it by like the notes and the text? Just be that better man or better person and just at least give them the courtesy to tell him in person, or at least give him a phone call and talk it out. His reason? He deserved to be able to have romantic walks on the beach. I am in a wheelchair. Oh my God. What a dick, man. Why would you say that to someone? Clearly she can't walk. Wow, what an ass. I hope you found someone that that you deserve and loves you for who you are. And 25 years is a lot. So I am so sorry. Another one here. I helped him rent an apartment in a duplex owned by some friends of mine. A couple of weeks later, he moved to Florida without telling me or them. What did you expect, dude? First of all, horrible thing to do. Again with this like ghosting, like be the better person. Step up, just own it, man. What's going to happen? I mean, I'm sure now I'm going to get comments of of crazy things that happen, but I'm more so basing it off of like your typical heartbreak, but it's done in a civil way, civil manner, as best as you possibly can. Not leaving notes, texts, voicemails. It's just awful. You got to respect the person enough to do that. And like, what did you think was going to happen when you moved down to Florida? There's social media, which exposes everything these days. Someone's going to find out sooner or later. A post or a tweet or a message is going to come up sooner or later, and they're going to find out. So why not just end it and not have to worry about it biting you in the ass? I don't get it, but that's just me. Oh boy, this is a bad time, is the birthday thing. On my birthday, we lived in different cities only about 45 minutes apart. I requested a week off vacation time starting on my birthday. He took me out for a very nice dinner, then we went to a quiet bar for drinks. Sounds okay so far. We went home at about midnight, had sex, oh baby, and then he dumped me immediately after while we were still laying in bed. This is the worst. No one wants to hear this. I got the "it's not you, it's me" speech. I drove 45 minutes back home at about 2 a.m., feeling emotionally shattered and used. To this day, it's still my worst birthday ever. Of course it is. I don't blame you one bit. That is it's such a crappy thing to do to somebody. Like the anniversaries, the birthdays, and around the holidays. I mean, I know sometimes you can't help it, but like there's just so many other days in the year. Don't do that one. Oh boy, here's another note. A note guy, note man. With a note, he looked me in the eyes and told me he loved me that morning. Then, I found the note when I got back from work. He was gone. We were engaged and had been trying to conceive the previous few months. Oh my God. Trying to get pregnant and then break and just leaving, for the woman especially, is probably heartbreaking. I had no idea. We had been together a long time and he was my best friend. I never saw him again. Incredibly traumatic. Oh, like no kidding. And never seeing him again after being engaged and trying to have kids. I mean, that is just such a 180 to pull on someone, but what like a just complete shock. And just it's just disrespectful and terrible, man. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Oh, this is another place you don't, like another time and place you don't do this, at work. He called me at work on my office phone in the middle of the day, knowing I shared an office with several colleagues. We had been together for over 2 years. That is awful because when you're at work, you got to be in the game, you got to be focused, especially if you're higher up or you're part of your position is, you know, you're very involved in projects and things like that. You got to be like giving your 110%. You got to be on your game. So to be called in the middle of a work day and get broken up with is just, it's so lousy, man. Like, and then your whole day is ruined. You're not going to be able to pay attention. You're not going or focus, and probably going to be crying and depressed all day. I mean, even if it's in the beginning or middle of the week, now you have the whole rest of the week to be dealing with this. I mean, it's terrible. At least do it after work or just wait until the weekend and, you know, just it's only a couple more days. I don't get it. But here's a holiday one. He was supposed to come over for Christmas. I called and texted, and he wasn't answering. I checked his Facebook, and his ex had tagged him in photos in their house. They never broke up. Dude, come on, man. I can't believe how much this happens. I mean, it's not even surprising anymore, and that's the worst part about it. Stupidly, I went back. Why did you go back? We broke up after he flipped out over an old text message on my phone. Now I'm with the love of my life and our dogs and our 2 new dogs in our new home. Well, you're probably better off, and I hope you're enjoying those 2 dogs and your new home. Great accomplishment, too. So, hope life is much better now. Got another Facebook status one here. He changed his Facebook status to single. I didn't even know until my best friend called to ask me about it. Like, I never understand the status thing. It's like, I know, like, when we were younger, it was like the thing to do, and like checking up on your crush and seeing like, are they still single, or like, did they break up? But when you're in your 30s and your 40s, why would you be changing your status, especially when you haven't told that person yet? And it says, I didn't even know until my best friend called me to ask about it. Like, that's the worst, when other people know something major like that before you even know. He did it like 9 days before my birthday, too. At least when I asked him about it, he didn't make any excuses, and we just ended things. It's like, dude, you should have just manned up about it and ended things like that. No excuses. End it. Like, why are you on Facebook changing your status? It's just that's a childish thing to do. That's not good. All right, last one here. This is a bad one. This is bad. He disappeared with the car we bought together. That's a red flag. He stole money from my house. Red flag. And my parents' place and completely ghosted me. That is a shitty ass person. I'm sorry, but I hope you left this person or didn't try and find him. I learned later he did 8 years in prison for drug sales and possession, so I considered myself lucky that he left and ruined somebody else's life. I couldn't agree with you more, and like they say, I hope he lives the life that he deserves. That is awful. I mean, he deserved to be in prison, clearly, and stealing from you and stealing from her family. I mean, that's just disrespect written all over it. I mean, you don't know somebody's situation. I mean, there are very desperate times out there, but that doesn't fly with me. Stealing from me or stealing from my family, not gonna fly. Not gonna fly. Well, aside from all that crazy stuff, hope you guys have a great summer. Hope you guys have some awesome stuff coming up. You got plans, vacations. Let us know what you're up to. We're certainly going to be talking about Alaska next week when Matt returns, and other stuff that we're up to. But it's going to be a good season. Looking forward to get back in the swing of things. As always, this is Matt's part that he takes away. But check out our reels on Instagram. We have shorts all the time on our YouTube. Our full episodes available on YouTube. We've been doing very well on YouTube. It's been the platform that's dominating everything else. So we're at 650 subscribers at the moment. So I cannot thank you enough. We cannot thank you enough. We just really appreciate the time that you put into checking in, whether it's the whole episodes, bits and pieces of it. You're there, you're watching, and you're subscribing. And other than doing this because we love to do it, we do it because we want to grow a fan base. We want to grow our subscribers and people tuning in and connect in different ways from topics we bring up and discussions that we have. And we're really just here to feel like you're at the table with us, like we're friends, like old friends, or you're catching up, or new friends that you're getting to know better. And that's why we do what we do. We enjoy it, and it's just an excuse to get together more often and chit chat and talk about life, talk about new things, old things, and sometimes we learn new things about each other just by the conversations that we have. So it's really cool stuff. As always, every Thursday, except when we take breaks, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, and thank you for hanging out with us every week. As always, shake it up, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.
The Martini boys. The Martini boys. Pour yourself yourself a drink.